Hi, post-production Mason here. I just wanted to let everyone know that the footage you're seeing on screen now is old gaming footage. This is the Uno podcast recording between me and Drew. Drew is not playing the game with me, so just thought I'd clear that up for you. Um, yeah, so this is just old gaming footage. So enjoy the show, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Hello, and welcome to the revamped version of the Uno podcast. I'm your host, Mason, also known as Bone Guy, and I'm with my first colleague, Drew, also known as Edgy Burb. Say hi, Drew.
How's it going?
Yeah. So, he was a part of the original podcast crew that we did almost a year and a half ago. Probably longer than that. I'd have to look at the last time one
Yeah,
was uploaded. I think 2 years ago at this point.
I think the original was back in like 2020.
Yeah, probably. Uh, I'd have to actually. I have it pulled up here. Could check my YouTube. So the last uploaded one was 2022. Um, I've tried recording episodes in the past. I think last year I tried, and it wasn't great content. So we're gonna try to do more focused. We're gonna try to focus more on the podcast. If you guys are unaware of the Uno podcast, it is a podcast where me and a bunch of my friends will talk about literally anything. It could range from history to politics to candy to food to whatever we decide. Drew, do you want to tell the folks what um what topic we have chosen for today?
So today's topic will be about sweets. We're just gonna go over like any kinds, what variety, kind of just whatever's out to
You
mind.
you know what's funny
All right.
is that we should do a tier list actually, and so
Nah, I'm not a big fan of tier lists.
you don't like tier lists?
Nah.
You're not a fan? Okay, all right. It's one of those things where it's gonna be a lot of touch and go when it comes to what we decide to do. Podcast episodes will vary between length of episodes. We're gonna try to keep one to about an hour. We'll find out kind of how that goes when we go. Um, so sweets. Sweets have been a part of my childhood for a long time. Halloween, Easter, candy's involved. Sweets, like, are we talking candy here? Or are we going to talk like donuts and pastries, or is it every sweetie thing?
Every damn sweet thing. Like all honesty, like hey,
Yeah.
before we were recording this, I was like, damn, I got a serious sweet
Yeah.
because like, I was eating dinner, right?
Yeah.
And this shit is so fucking salty. So I'm like, yeah, no, you gotta balance that shit out.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. As well as before we get started, I would like to say that we will not be the only two on this podcast. We'll also have a fella named Garrett, also known as the Frenchiest Fry on YouTube.
Easy
He will be
working.
joining us as well on the podcast. He was unavailable for today, but he should be here in the future. Also a guy named Isaac who appeared on a podcast on a few of my failed podcast episodes that never made it to YouTube. He will be joining us as well sometime in the near future, as well as some other people that I will not mention at this time, notably. It's just not important right now because they have not decided whether they want to join the podcast. Um, so sweets. Well, I guess we start with a certain type of sweet. What's my favorite sweetie item? So I guess candy. It depends because I'm not a huge fan of chocolate, but I'll have myself eat a bunch of chocolate and then feel like ass afterwards. So I never know truly what I want when it comes to sweets. I do know that I enjoy ice cream quite a bit. Even though I have said in the past that ice cream's not been my favorite thing in the world, mostly because of it makes me very thirsty. So yeah, it's one of those things. But Drew, what's your favorite sweetie item out of everything? If you were gonna talk candy,
I was about to say like the worst fucking pickup line right there.
yeah.
All right, if you're talking about sweet, I'll take a bite of you.
Oh, shut up! I hate you.
No, no. My favorite like sweet is probably gonna be like cookies or ice cream. Because
Yeah,
all on, I'm kind of a fat ass when it comes to those things. And
I
like, if you have
agree.
any, I bake those like crazy, and then I go to like ice cream shop every other day.
Yeah,
Shit's expensive, but damn worth it. Because like, if you get like rocky, how you say it, cookies, and then also ice cream, there's so much variety. It's fucking amazing.
yeah, I agree. Ice cream is pretty good, but you have to be kind of in a mood for it. Like I can find myself not enjoying ice cream.
I could persuade you right here now.
Well, I got some ice cream upstairs. I just didn't go get it. Um, I didn't even have my water next to me, so I might have to get up and go grab it real quick while you're talking. Is do one of those. Um, but with sweets, it's down to a few categories for me. Chocolate is its own category, chocolate stuff, and then you have sweet stuff, and then you have kind of like sour stuff. Um, all three will give you a stomach ache if you eat too much of it, so watch out.
Well, yeah, you can say that about anything.
Yeah, as I eat a Jolly Rancher on podcast right now. Just open this up.
Yeah,
Also, by the way, any brands we mention, we are not sponsored by any of those brands, such as Jolly Rancher.
or any other mention later
You
on,
know,
but
if we
yeah,
do make fun of the brand or anything like that, and we are not sponsored by any of these brands yet. We'll see how this podcasting thing goes. Well, like even like the big like podcasts don't really get sponsors from like major
no, I mean
corporations.
some of them actually not. There's like some other ones like Audible, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, well, I guess it depends on how you look at it.
Oh, absolutely. But I doubt this is gonna get.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Hey, yeah,
I think.
it's whatever, man. I also feel that when it comes to um, when it comes to sweets, there's a certain euphoria around them. Like people are getting fat and stuff, and we should cut back on our sweets. We should.
No,
We should
no,
legitimately.
no.
Eating a lot of candy and sugar and stuff is not good for you. You have to balance your diet out as well.
Absolutely.
Um,
No, how you
Drew's
say it? You also got to combine that with like exercise and all that shit. Because I said, I'm a horrible example at this, but like I said, I work out like crazy, and I was just at work. I had like a whole bag of fucking gummy worms.
Yeah, I remember that. I worked with you.
Yeah,
I was like that.
like that was the most unhealthy shit you can probably do. Like sour citrus gummy worms, and then
Oh,
straight back to work.
why did you do that to
Dude,
yourself?
it was amazing. I was happy.
There's a certain, I don't know what the study is, the dietary study, but they did some work on research on like what sugar does to your brain. It's like got the same chemical response as cocaine, which
Oh,
makes sense because cocaine comes from sugar cane anyway. So it makes sense why it would be kind of near it because because cocaine has sugar in it. In fact, a lot of major like foods have sugar in it. Even like medicine has sugar in it. So there's no way to get around sugar. It's here to stay. You just gotta watch how much you ingest.
okay. So it's kind of like how you say it. So it's kind of like the people with like diabetes, where their insulin goes like crazy, where you
Yeah.
just eat like
So me, basically.
yeah.
I want to look up the daily recommended. Uh,
Dude, if we look at the daily recommended stuff, none of it is going to be on the rack because you realize we have like the American diet where it's like a shit ton more than it's supposed to. I'm not going to actually put down any actual numbers because I don't
um,
know.
It suggests no more than 100 calories of sugar per day, which is
Yeah.
about 6 teaspoons or 24 grams. Now that's for women. For men, oh, this is from Harvard. Says that, and no more than 150 for calories for men, probably. Uh, the Centers for the CDC states that it's 12 tablespoons for like a 2,000 calorie diet. So no more than 200 of those 2,000 calories should be from sugar. So, sugar's in everything, from cough syrup to Lucky Charms. Like it's in everything.
Okay, Lucky Charms is pretty. Yeah, that very much has sugar.
Well,
Like,
even the shit that claims like it's got no sugar in it has sugar in it. Like
well, no, it has like stevia or something like that. Those things are
it's
gross.
a sugar.
Also, don't eat too much stevia. That will give you the shits. Um,
It seems like
so
everything
I've
gives
seen.
you the shits. It
Okay, okay,
just
yeah, but like this stuff is like notoriously known because it's like a bunch of, I forgot what it was. It's an alternative to sugar, but
it's
it's just it's like a concentration of like fructose or something weird. It's not exactly.
oh, it's like that
I don't know.
sugar-free gummy bears thing, like that I saw,
Yeah, yeah,
like
exactly.
where like if we look at the reviews for some of that shit, it's like I gave myself the runs. I gave myself wicked diarrhea
No,
from
because I've seen a couple like bodybuilder dudes use that stuff while they're on a
I think it's
diet
called
and
like
like just
lycosin. I think that's what the
yeah,
like the poopy sugar is called. It's
gross.
like in laxatives and shit.
Yeah, no, it's gross.
I,
I
I
mean,
do know I do know that like sweet drinks like apple juice can give you diarrhea. Like that
well,
that
yeah,
shit
that's
is
just okay. Listen, if you're gonna just make like concentrated juice, it's a bunch of just crushed up fruits, vegetables, all that stuff. Like it's like eating 1 or 5 apples and just drinking it.
well, a
Sorry,
lot.
just like eating 5 apples and drinking it. That
Yeah,
was
but
weird
it's
ass.
yeah, but they put a lot of like sugar in apple juice, like a
Well,
load,
yeah,
way more than it probably should have. And so, like, there was one time I drank like 3 glasses, like three of the big glasses of apple juice, and then my stomach like went, and I was not. I don't know whether I was, feeling okay afterwards, but you feel kind of weird after having something like an experience like that. And I won't go too heavy into detail because I don't, I don't know how much shit we
we're
can
not
talk
going back. We're
about.
not going back to that. Yeah.
I don't know how much shit. Like it just seems whenever I talk to you, it always seems to go back to shit somehow.
Oh, that's kind of harsh, man.
No, seriously. Like the
That's okay.
your
No,
best
we do get
story
on that
ever was
topic.
about you shitting yourself. um, but yeah, sugar is in everything from sweets to like whole grain stuff, like Honey Nut Cheerios. You think like that would be very healthy? No, it's got sugar in it.
Dude, it's
You
honey
can't get
nut.
away from
No,
it. Well, no, honey's got sugar in it. Like it's recommended. I don't know how much a can of Pepsi is for
Pepsi.
excuse me.
No, that's like 6 or 5
So everyone's saying
tablespoons.
90. Um, so free sugars. Excuse me. The AHA sugar recommendations is 100 is 6 teaspoons and 8 teaspoons for men. Oh no, 1 can of soda, 12-ounce can contains 8 teaspoons of sugar, and the daily recommendation per day is 6 teaspoons.
6. Oh shit.
That's for women, and then men should have 9. Which that means that we us two as guys we can ingest 1 can of soda's worth of sugar a day. I know that
I know like 6 or 5 different people who drink like. Actually, shit, I'm one of them. I used to drink sodas like crazy, but like those things are unhealthy as all fucking hell.
you know what's funny
Uh,
is I got this
what?
can of A&W in front of me. Not sponsored. Um, it's got 85 milligrams of sodium and 44 grams of carbs, and 43 grams of those carbs are sugar. There's zero protein. There's nothing in this thing except for a
Yeah,
bunch
where
of
would
corn
you,
syrup. And
dude? I would be concerned if you did have protein. Like, who nutted your A and W?
well, it's also another thing. It's true. Who died in my A&W? Well, another thing is even like protein shakes got sugar in them. Like
Well, yeah,
everything's got sugar.
dude. Straight up, I'll be flat out honest. Straight up, like whey protein it's like eating cottage cheese. It's not great, or powdered cottage cheese.
I don't want to talk about powdered cottage cheese. That sounds disgusting.
Exactly.
Like I barely like cottage cheese like straight in general. Like my mother likes dipping her like Ritz crackers in cottage cheese. She'll have that for like a meal, and I'd be like, oh okay. But like I like cottage cheese like at like a Thanksgiving meal with like green beans and stuff, chicken,
Oh, okay.
turkey and stuff. That's what I enjoy. But
Yeah.
I understand, and I also like it like on salads and stuff, like a chef salad. I'll put that shit on there. You know, sweets and you know, candy.
Laughing at that damn transition.
Yeah,
So yeah,
sweets.
Sweets.
So sweets, right? There's a lot of different options. There's sour, there's sweet, doi for sweets, chocolatey, savory, sweet and sour, all kinds of. I think I'm starting to get into like savory stuff, but
Yeah, I think
there's all kinds of options out there. So I'm just gonna list off. I think I'm just gonna go through a list, and you're gonna tell me whether they're good or they're bad. So let me pull up a list.
Sorry, I'm on like the side of like Instagram and TikTok where they're just showing you a shit ton of food. Damn. I just ate, but like I'm hungry now. And we're talking about sweets
again.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, damn.
Okay. I guess we'll start with pie. That seems like a good. Whereas American is apple pie, so we'll start with apple pie. Is apple pie worth eating?
Okay, here's the thing. It has to be like perfect. It doesn't. Cannot by any means be soggy, and I mean like not soggy at all.
Like mushy.
Because if you get like soggy pie, so if you like you gotta have like a crispy crust and that like baked underside that's not chewy but still like crumbly. And on the top, if you get like the lace looking thing where it's like the lace, oh, I forgot what it's called. I forgot the bacon term for it.
Yeah.
Where you can just, I said, if you get that nice and flaky with the butter on top, you get the egg wash off, and then you get the, the mixture of like cinnamon, sugar. Some people add cardamom. I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
And then all baked up. Perfect. Fucking perfect. But it's really hard to get right the first time.
Yeah. I
that's
personally. Wait, what were you going to say, Drew?
All good? You go.
Okay. I personally love apple pie. It's one of my favorite things. Like, it's cinnamony. It's cinnamon. I can't say that word, but it's got the cinnamon. It's got the apple. It's got the pie. It's delicious, especially with some ice cream or whipped cream. Like you mix that shit together. That's bussin'. All right. I don't care who you are, but a good slice of apple pie is delicious. I guess we'll move on to the next thing on the list.
Let's say, how do we say?
Cherry I just saw pie. This one. We'll just go more pie.
Oh, hell
I love fucking cherry pie. I don't know what you're saying.
What's wrong with you?
My aunt makes a mean cherry pie.
Oh, yeah, okay. If you get it from, like, somebody's aunt or somebody's mom, absolutely.
Somebody's mom. Yeah, like, store-bought cherry pie is booty, but, like, if you get, like...
It's horrible. Pie, it's sour.
Well, you like the tartness of a sweet cherry pie.
Actually, okay. Here's the thing with cherries. So we have the, auto shop and welding shop in our school.
Yeah.
We have this, like, soap. That's the cherry stuff. So anytime I'm near like a cherry pie, I can only think of soap because I've tried to eat that soap.
Why? That's true. You can't eat soap.
Well, yeah, no shit.
It smells like cherries, so
It smelled like way too fucking good, and it had an amazing texture. But
I know my
It's
girlfriend
like the
hates
scrubby shit.
cherries.
What?
Sarah hates cherries. Sarah, my
I don't know.
girlfriend, hates cherries. She just doesn't like them. It's like the same thing with me and pineapple. I don't like pineapple.
What's wrong with you?
Well, I don't like
What
the
is wrong?
like. I don't like the like. I'll eat pineapple-y things like a pina colada, but like pina colada flavored stuff, like a sucker or like pineapple flavored stuff isn't bad. But like just
Okay.
eating the fruit sucks because it's like eating you at the same time. I don't like fruit that attacks me. I want to eat it.
Oh, you don't like that? How you say it? Like after
Tingling
I fucking
sensation.
yeah, I love that shit.
Also, if you eat that stuff too much, you will give you the shits. it just,
Dude,
it just
that's just a fruit, dude.
that's
Oh,
no.
actually,
Whatever a pineapple like does just makes me not want to eat anything anymore.
okay. I got a shitty fact. Pineapples. So that's like one of the fruits that shows up in your stuff. But if you find somebody like eating pineapple, a bunch of cranberries, all that extra stuff, you know.
You know,
I don't know how to say it. It's goofy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one.
Next one. I guess I'll just keep naming pies.
Oh, come on,
But
man. We got some childhood pies.
you don't want any more pies.
Nah. After that cherry one, I'm disgusted.
Here, let me see if I can find a better list.
Oh, how about pecan?
Oh,
Like that's
pecan
a big one.
pie?
Yeah.
Booty. I hate it.
Booty?
No. Anyone
I
who
love
likes
it.
pecan pie, I mean, like a really like it has to be like delicious pecan pie for me to eat it. Like it has to be like the best pie I've ever eaten to want to eat that shit. That stuff is gross. That stuff is unappetizing. I don't like the texture. Don't like the flavor. Even if you add like ice cream or cream, like whipped cream or anything to it, it still tastes like booty. Don't like it.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
But
okay, here's the thing. It's an acquired. It's like those bitter. You know how you get the tartness from
I hate bittery
your.
things.
But yeah, you're supposed to get the bitter from it because I don't know. I just like it.
You're just blobbing. You're yapping.
I'm yapping.
Yapping.
I'm a D1 yapper.
I would rather eat any other pie other than a pecan pie. I think
Also,
legitimately, you name any other pie, I'd eat it
okay,
over
pumpkin. Pumpkin. That is like the last pumpkin, the last one to be eaten in my house every
pumpkin
time.
pie is so delicious. I don't know what you want.
No, but like okay.
It's like one
So
of the better
let's say
foods in
we have
Minecraft, so that's why I like it.
let's say we have like 5 or 6 different pies laid out. You got like an apple pie, a pecan pie, a cherry pie,
Yeah.
a blueberry pie, a raspberry pie.
Oh, raspberry pies are fucking delicious. I don't get to have them much because raspberries are not very
Like
common here in
I mean,
Kansas. They're
yeah,
very
that's
expensive. Uh,
crazy.
or
But yeah,
blackberry
no,
pie would be interesting.
that would.
It would come
Let me
out
think.
weird too. Like the way you'd bake it, it'd look like fucking charcoal. It wouldn't look
Actually,
that appetizing. It'd probably taste really good, but like it wouldn't look appetizing.
I gotta look that up, see what it actually looks like.
I know the people like that are listening to this or watching this are like because I'm gonna put like footage of shit on screen so that way it's not just me and you talking the entire time in front of like a
Yeah,
stale
so it's
image.
kind of like
Um,
yeah.
though the stale
No, that
image
actually would
concept was fun. It was also like a really lazy form of editing. It would take me like 15 minutes to edit stuff. Like I would fix the beginning part and I leave the rest, and then it would just be that. It would not be a very thought out concept. The recording software I'm using is different than the last time, and I'll fill people in, a little bit more of the original Uno podcast lore. Um, before I got my new Windows computer, I ran stuff on a Mac, and there's nothing wrong with a Windows or a Mac. I prefer the Windows computer because it's a way more powerful computer than what I had. Um, the Mac that would I would have Discord running on my computer, and then we play, and then I'd record it on my phone, and I'd have my phone near the monitor so it would pick up the sound. And the issue is that I would be incredibly loud, and everyone else I'd have to like talk differently. And with this, I don't have to talk differently. But I'm not sure how this is gonna look in editing because I do have like some old footage and stuff, but I don't know how well it's gonna mesh. We'll see. We'll see. Um, but yeah, that's how I recorded the first 3 episodes, and that's even how I recorded all the other ones. I just never got around to doing the normal stuff. But it is what it is. We're doing this new concept. I'm not sure how it's gonna go, but we're gonna hope for stuff. Did you find the blackberry pie thing? What does it look like?
Okay, so I keep on showing up with the recipes. So it can't exactly just be you or just be like blackberry. It has to be like blueberries and a variety.
Oh, it has to be
'Cause
like a
they're-
berry pie or something.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just have one.
No, I'd assume so. Blackberry is one of those things where you gotta have like cream and stuff in it.
Mhm.
Just eating straight blackberry is kind of hard.
Well, you can add like a streusel top.
Mm-hmm. It's a really pretty fruit, but wouldn't just have that in my pie. All the ugly fruits get put in pies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, no. Would you put a potato on a pie?
Sweet chicken pot pie, yeah.
Oh shit.
Chicken pot
What's not
pie.
just potato?
Still, you cannot name me one pie that I wouldn't eat over a pecan pie, or that I wouldn't eat. Like the pecan pie is like the one pie that I would not eat. Any other pie you name, I would eat it.
Pumpkin pie without any whipped cream. How about that?
Yep, I'd still eat it.
What's wrong with you?
It would be miserable, but I'd still eat it over pecan pie.
Really?
I'm not joking. I would eat that over a pecan, or over a pecan pie. Gotta watch
what is wrong with you?
I think that pecan pie is just the worst. Right? Like I would eat a key lime pie, and that is
Okay, key lime's low. That's a low bar. Like I said, you got to get that gelatinous, weird texture. I don't know. It's just gelatinous texture. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I'd even eat like a store-bought mushy apple pie over pecan pie. I'm not joking.
That's wrong.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, pecan pie is the worst. It is the worst of the pies. Some might argue like a really bad pumpkin pie. I actually had a pumpkin pie one time that made me actually throw up. It was that bad. It was like store bought and it was rancid. It was disgusting and it didn't taste like pumpkin pie. I would eat a pecan pie over a pie that was gonna make me sick. But like if none of the pies would make me sick, I'd eat I'll eat any other pie than a pecan pie.
Yes.
Okay. Sweets, cake.
What kind?
Now it's your turn. Now you got to name cakes, and then I'll tell you whether they're delicious.
Okay. So it's like a chocolate gelato.
You're going too in depth, bud.
I know chocolate gelato mixed cake. So you get like layer gelato, layer cake, layer gelato, layer cake.
Is gelato like Jello or is it like frosting? What is gelato?
Gelato is a type of ice cream.
But it's able to be heated. Well, because in my house you eat ice cream or you have milk with your cake. Like you put milk in the bowl.
Why would you put?
Don't knock it till you try it. That shit's bussin'. It's not bad. Like I don't personally do it. I like having a huge glass of milk next to me and I just wash it down with the milk. But my dad does it. My sister does it. I gotta stop leaning back in my chair because it's making a whole bunch of noise. No, seriously, I'm sitting in my chair and I'm like, like, oh boy, that's not gonna sound good in recording. Because I'm not sure like what's picked up or not because I can't see the recording software because I'm trying to keep the still image. Because I can't just record just Discord. I have to record the whole screen, and I don't want like my desktop visible to people. So it's not like I have anything to hide. It's just like it shows up my name and stuff, and I'd rather not.
but it is one of those things where chocolate cake can get too much. Like there is a such
Yeah,
thing
no,
as too
absolutely.
much chocolate cake. I once had too much chocolate cake and had like a headache afterwards. It sucks. I hated it. Um, yeah. I guess I'll go. I'll name another cake. Have you ever had strawberry jello cake before?
Yeah.
That is my favorite cake. Period. It is my favorite cake. I will eat that cake over anything else.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's a sheet cake. If people don't know what it is, it's a sheet cake, and you put whipped cream on as like the frosting, and then you put strawberries on that, and then you bake it. And then the cake itself is a mixture between um, strawberry jello, and then you mix that in with your flour and your cake mix, and you mix it together, and then
What?
yeah,
No, that
it's
sounds gross.
it's so good. It is so delicious.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Isaac made me a whole sheet of the strawberry jello cake for my birthday, and it is and he's gonna mention this like probably if he was here. I did not give him his cake pan back until like until like 4 months later because I didn't realize because I thought I gave it back to him, and I was in my mind like, "Oh, I gave it back to him," until he reminded me, and I'm like, "I can't find it now." And then it was just stashed away in my cupboard because my mom thought it was ours. So I had his cake pan for like 4 months without realizing it. I felt really bad afterwards, and he memes the hell out of it. But it's
I mean, I would too. Like, shit, you stole a shit for how long now?
I still it was just really long borrowing. That's what it
Yeah. Oh
was.
no, that's just stealing, bro.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
Yep.
At the end of the day, he did get the cake pan back. So
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true.
it's not like he didn't get it back. And also like, why would I steal a cake pan? Or it wasn't even a cake pan. It was a glass pan. Um, and I remember him being really upset about it. I'm like, why would I steal your cake pan? Like that, I legitimately forgot about that. But
Oh, okay.
it's okay. Bygones be bygones.
Yeah. Bygones be but I fucking can't say that word.
Mm. Um. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So have you ever had strawberry jello cake before?
Yeah, I have. We had it for a 4th of July party. It was like it's pretty much what you described.
It
I
was
did not like it. Like I'm very much a texture guy on like cakes and stuff. It has to be soft, moist, and all that bullshit.
hell, if they made
Uh,
it correctly, it's
yeah,
supposed to be soft and moist.
yeah, no, that Jello part, no, hell,
You don't have jello chunks in the cake. Like it's mixed in, so it's like a
pretty.
really spongy cake. That's what it's supposed to. I don't know what you had, but like the way my parents make it, or my mother specifically makes it. And what Isaac gave me was exactly what my mom makes. So like I don't know what you got.
Yeah, I got ass.
I got the worst cake you could ever think of. What's another cake? Uh, Red velvet. That's a controversial one.
Oh, okay, okay, dude. Red velvet is just chocolate with like fucking icing or some bullshit like that.
No, it's its
Or
own
sorry, red.
flavor.
You sure?
Yeah, I think that's my mom's favorite flavor, if I remember correctly, of cake is red velvet. It's like almost like a bittery. It's kind of chocolatey, but it's also vanilla. It's a weird. I don't know how to describe red velvet because it's been so long since I've had it, but it is a good cake, especially with like buttercream icing. It's delicious, but I can understand why people don't like it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Have you seen those like videos of whether it's like cake or it's like a shoe or something? Like it's a shoe cake, but it looks like a shoe, but it's not a cake. Like,
All right,
is it
right. It's like
cake?
the
I think it's called "Is it cake?"
Is it cake? I love those videos. Somebody like there was a very convincing like
There's a whole
luxury
Netflix
bag.
show now about. It was a Netflix show for almost everything, but
Yeah,
I
where
think
they
there's
try to
a
mimic it.
it's a Netflix show that's just called "Is It Cake?" and they can win like $10,000 if they can convince the judges that it's cake or not cake. And personally, I think any show, like a lot of these like TikTok trends, like the like break, will it break down like a flight of stairs? It's like got a bunch of like water beads or something in it, and it rolls down the stairs and it breaks and the beads go everywhere. All I can think about in those videos is like, imagine the cleanup that is involved. Like, do you spray it with the hose and scoop it, or do you like sweep it down the stairs? Like, what do you do in that situation? It just seems
Nah,
so
you
wasteful.
waffle grate that shit. You waffle grate that shit.
And then I'll see those people like they'll take a bottle, like a 2 liter bottle of soda or something, and they'll roll it and it'll hit like a nail board at the bottom, and it like sprays it everywhere. I'm like, dude, you're just wasting the soda. Like, drink it. Like, you might as well just be throwing your money down a toilet. So yeah, I just don't get people. I
Yeah.
don't get why it's entertaining, but like I get it's kind of satisfying, I guess. But like I would rather like watch hydraulic press videos. Seriously, I find myself watching hydraulic press videos like on TikTok.
Dude, you got like 3 layers of fucking brain rot.
Just,
I
you know
said,
you gotta
oh
have
my god,
brain
it's
rot
like
when
those
you're
videos.
you know you gotta have brain rot when you are down in the hydraulic press videos.
Yeah,
It's try brain rot. That's what that is. Oh yeah, TikTok's getting banned.
yeah,
It
no, I
just
saw.
is. No, that's a little
No, no,
sad.
I was there. I mean, I kind of expected it because they're doing the same shit as like Facebook and Instagram and all that shit. But I think it's just because it's not an American company. That's
But
probably the main thing.
in my opinion, it's one of those things where I'm gonna get a lot of flame for this because I am an American, so that's great. Um, Personally, I think the whole TikTok thing is really stupid. Um, I think that I like Instagram more than like Snap. Like, I don't use my Snapchat at all because Snap is too confusing and I get too many notifications from people. So I turned it off and I deleted my account. Or no, I just deleted the app off my phone. And then I re-downloaded it because of the school. But Instagram, I know how to navigate Instagram, so that's why I use my Instagram a lot more than my Snap. And even then, the only thing I use TikTok for, I don't like post anything on my TikTok or anything like that. All I do is I watch videos. I'll like scroll on TikTok. That's all I use my TikTok for is a scroll thing. I don't even leave comments on most of them. I just like and I save like sounds and TikTok edits and stuff. That's all I do.
Yeah,
Like YouTube, I know how YouTube works. Instagram, I know how Instagram works. Facebook, don't really know how that works, but I use Marketplace. So that's all Facebook is really nowadays. It's not really social media anymore. It's more of just like a Craigslist.
oh, okay, okay. I mean, you're kind of right because like Facebook is being used as I miss Marketplace. All honesty,
It still exists. Ian uses it a lot. In fact, we might put Ian on the show. Ian might come on the
shit.
show.
Actually, you know what? He might actually be pretty good. So if we had one of these days where we can actually talk like about cars, that can be one of our topics.
No.
He's like one of the guys to go.
Yeah. Other thing with these Uno podcast videos, the new 2.0 version, is that we're not going to have a real set topic in mind. You'll see us go on side rants and side tangents and stuff like that.
Yeah, kind of like what we're doing right now, where we're talking about like TikTok.
Yeah, so I think we move away from the sweets and we talk about something else. The TikTok
Yeah,
banning thing actually is kind of interesting to me because the U.S. government's fear of foreign agencies, whether that be TikTok or even like an espionage group or something like that, as spying on us.
yeah,
I think they have a solid point, right? But but most companies sell your information. It's well known that Facebook does it, and it's well known that Microsoft does it. A lot of these big tech companies do it. Um, but we kind of live with it. I think I think selling your information
is interesting to say the least because I think my information's been sold to somebody and I haven't been hacked or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't know. Or is Microsoft bought Google, correct? Or is Google its own thing?
I think Google might be his own thing. I'm not sure what Microsoft would be really
Well,
count for.
I'm gonna look this
Microsoft
up.
has like Microsoft Word, all that like hard drive, and then Google has its own competitor for like Google Drive.
Did
Mhm.
because I know they bought my Activision and stuff.
Yeah, they did. I'm gonna hold a sec. I gotta go.
I guess I'll keep talking.
Yeah.
No. They did not buy Google. Yeah. So, while Drew gets back, yeah. So this podcast is going to be very interesting. Between talking about random stuff, we might have a history segment, like especially if Isaac joins us. Drew might be gone for that. Drew's going to try to be a mainstay here. He's probably going to be the co-host, and he's going to be a part of a lot of these episodes. So again, if you guys are enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like on the video. We're going to try to put these on Spotify. Once we get that set up, it will be kind of interesting to see how that goes.
Mhm.
But yeah, we're gonna try to pump these out at least once a week.
Yippee!
Yippee!
All right, I should be back.
Yeah.
Like, if you were talking about sweets the entire time, I had to grab like a Rice Krispie or something. Because, like, I'll be honest, dinner was not feeling.
You literally, we were supposed to start at 5, and
Well, I had to cook it. And all honesty, I don't like. I said, I don't like cooking when I have to.
yeah,
I love cooking because I want to. That's the thing. But it was like shrimp scampi or some stuff like that. I don't like. They say, or Kansas fish is not good.
well, unless it's native fish like catfish, even though catfish.
Oh yeah, catfish fresh. You get it like straight out of the lake. You're set. Get some like Cajun seasoning, a little bit of like.
Yeah.
Fuck. You know, I love spicing up my fish right before cooking.
Oh, Drew, there is an election coming up.
Yeah, no politics, man.
No, it's politics. I literally, it's nothing's off limits. Okay, nothing except for being offensive and stuff. But I mean, like offensive by like 2010 is offensive, not like this cancel culture bullshit.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I like to think as myself as a moderate in society. I'm not radical in pretty much a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
I do the whole Jackson Carey, where he talks and he like memes a topic. Like let's say we're debating about abortion, he will take the side of the anti-abortionist person, and he'll just like he'll just beat you to death with his way around words and his charisma and stuff, and he just gets around you.
Yeah.
Until you actually think he believes that stuff, until you find out what his actual political beliefs are, and they're nowhere near it. Like I remember having a time. Oh yeah, you go.
He's pretty good at that shit. All honesty,
he still is. But another thing I like to think about is, oh yeah, there was this one time that I had a talk with a guy about U.S. domestic policies. I said, you know how you fix all the domestic issues in the United States, you go to war, and I labeled all of my arguments and stuff until we had it was such a good argument that he legitimately thought that I believed that the U.S. should go to war to fix all its domestic problems. And I'm like, dude, no. I don't actually think that. That's stupid. We shouldn't go to war, mostly because I'd have to get drafted, and I don't want to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't want to die, man. I'm good. I got people that care about me back home, so I'd rather not. Yeah, Drew, do you have an opinion on the any like foreign stuff, like foreign conflicts, like the Russia-Ukrainian war, the Israeli war in Gaza? Do you have any opinion on that?
I mean, like I said, I'm not a big fan of politics, so I don't really do that type of stuff.
Right, but
Like, I'm not head over heels about opinions, and
do you think they should just hug it out?
you know, yeah, I think just a well-rounded discussion, sitting down, talking a lot of stuff out without, how you say it, without like unbiased between religion, race, or anything like that, and just saying, hey, this is my land or this is that land, and then
This land
like,
is your land.
exactly, no. I mean, in real
Well,
life, it is pretty hard to get that through. And having a simple discussion with grown adults that say, hey, this is my stuff, and then arguing over that is not exactly a great thing when they're doing more actions that
well,
are.
well, the Russia, like the two wars I mentioned are two different conflicts in their own right. Like Israel and Hamas have been fighting a lot, and Hamas is a terrorist group. If people don't know, they launched attacks against Israel, and then Israel retaliated, and it's a huge thing. The Russia-Ukrainian war that started in 2022, I believe. It's been so long, I don't remember. It was 2022. That war started because Russia invaded Ukraine without really
Yeah,
having any justification to. Whereas Israel had semi legitimate justification because Hamas was blowing up their stuff. So, take that with what you will. Um, I also think that people who protest wars that have no idea what they're talking about. I had this discussion with Sarah the other day, and it was people putting up signs saying that they stood for Hamas, and Hamas is a terrorist group. It's been called that by multiple countries, not just the United States, but a lot of NATO and the EU and stuff. Which, if you are, Chinese or Russian or any of that stuff, and you're pro China and pro Russia or anything like that, they're probably not a terrorist organization in your eyes, but they're not in like the same level as Al Qaeda or the Houthis. I'm not too familiar with the subject of that matter, so it's whatever. But they have no idea what they're talking about, and
yeah,
that's dangerous when like especially like because we have the Trump supporters and stuff, and we also have hardcore leftists like the blue haired liberal lady or those are like stereotypes, but still, they have no idea what they're talking about, but they're so passionate in what they talk about that you believe it as fact,
yeah,
and that's very dangerous for society. I think people should always do their research on what they want to talk about, um, and also just think, oh yeah, someone's gonna have a different opinion than me. That doesn't mean they're wrong. That just means they're wrong. No, it means that you have two different ideas on how you see the future and how you see your life and stuff. So you shouldn't have to try to change someone else's opinion. You should have your own opinion.
exactly.
Yeah. Like I think me and you have different opinions on on how the state of Kansas has what there is to do here. You'd say there's nothing. There's stuff. It's just not great
There is stuff.
stuff.
You just got to drive like 5 or 6 hours to actually fucking do
Okay, you're being ridiculous.
it. Okay, no, I'll send you some photos from my trip in Kansas. This was a 4-hour trip.
Or where'd you go?
This is Lincoln, Kansas, and this is like the Wilson Lake. I'll send you it through Instagram.
Wilson.
Uh,
Um, Wilson Lake is not that far. It's like an hour.
nah, it's pretty fucking far.
No, it's not. Look up Wilson Lake on my phone.
But yeah, no, it's gorgeous, and it's like this little patch out of the middle of nowhere, Kansas. Like the surrounding area is incredibly flat, and
I
it
don't
doesn't
know
have the
what
same.
you're smoking, Drew. That's Wilson Lake is over by it's on I-70 and it's past Salina. You have to go past Salina.
No, and guess what town it's next to?
What town? Wilson, Doy, and Lucas, Dorrance. I'm
trying to find like a decent town that's near. Nope, I can't find one. All right, whatever. It's past Salina a ways. It's like 20 or 30 minutes past Salina.
Yeah, no, that place is like absolutely fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
But that is a long ass fucking drive just to get there.
I think you are overstating the long ass drive because it's like an hour and 45 minutes.
That's still. Well, think of it this way: you got to stop for gas, you got to stop for snacks, and then you got to prepare, and then you also got to go drive back.
Well, you understand that's how this stuff works. Like, I have family that lives over by Dodge. Dodge is 4 hours away. Like,
dude, you don't go to Dodge because it's a good place. You go because it's called Dodge City, and it's like
it's cowboy town.
It's cowboy town.
You go to Boo Hill. Boo Hill's really cool.
Like I said, that's like going to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and not expecting your car to get stolen. Like, how you say it?
Dodge is a lot of people live in Garden now because Dodge is like dying because no one wants to live in Dodge. Everyone lives in Garden. But,
well, how do you say it? We have a dying.
I would say a lot of the drive through Kansas and even like Oklahoma and Nebraska or a lot of the Midwest, even like Indiana outside of like Kansas specifically, outside of like Manhattan, outside of Manhattan, there's Junction City, Topeka, and then you keep going down that road past Salina. There's freaking nothing. There's just nothing past Salina. Like I looked on the map, the next major town on I-70 is Denver. Like there's not another flippin' town that's near I-70 if you just keep going down I-70. I guess Hayes is a semi-major town that's on I-70. But that's like, but if you go east, because that's where all of Kansas's major cities are at, Topeka, and then you go past Topeka, there's Lawrence, and then you get into Kansas City and do that. As well as, what is it? The sports culture here. Sports culture in the United States is very large. We are the world champions of football. We have never lost a world football championship. Football being American football. We're undefeated. No foreign team has beaten us. That's not entirely true. The NFL, when it was in its early days, lost to a Canadian team. But we've never lost a championship game.
Yep.
What's your favorite sport to watch, Drew? Do you watch a lot of sports?
I really don't watch sports, but I used to play rugby. The British sport, yeah.
No, it's like I actually enjoy I'd love to learn a lot more about rugby. I don't understand how people don't get hurt playing that because at least with football, there's padding and there's helmets and stuff. Rugby,
it's just fucking raw. That sounds wrong.
Sure.
It's like football and wrestling, but
no, it's like football. Take all of the you do all the football moves. If people don't know what rugby is, you take all. You think of American football. You think, imagine they didn't have pads on, and just played like they did have pads on. That's rugby. Pretty much.
No, but here's the thing: they drive like fucking crazy. They have a bigger ball that is a pain. And then you're only going forward. Like that's like the main goal. You're only going forward. Never go back. And if you do go back,
they toss it backwards, don't they? They toss it backwards because if you get tackled, then it starts a scrum. I think I don't know how hard.
Yeah, that's it.
I forget scrum is also hilarious because they're telling your mama jokes in there, like insulting each other while they're like that close.
Yeah, it's some of the most heinous shit while you're in it.
It probably smells really bad too.
Well, yeah, you're playing with grown-ass men. That doesn't sound right.
True. Drew, you keep trapping yourself, man.
Yes, I do.
No, but, I enjoy playing basketball. I enjoy...
Well, yeah, because you're tall.
What?
You're tall.
Yeah, I'm 6'4". That's not tall for a basketball player. That's, average for a basketball player. NBA, if you are 7 foot, you have a 1 in 12 chance of making the NBA. If you're 7 foot or over, I found that out. Statistics show that most of the 7 footers one out of every 12 7-footers are in the NBA.
Yeah.
Baseball. Baseball's a sport I played for a while. I think you also played it too. It's like every little kid played baseball at one point.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I played it till I was in fifth, sixth grade, and my team was no good. I was an okay player. I wouldn't say I was the best. I wouldn't say I was the worst. I could catch the ball. I could throw the ball. Um, um, but yeah, it is what it is. Uh, Basketball is a sport that I understand the rules. I understand the rules of basketball. I understand the rules of football. I understand pretty much the rules of baseball. But outside of those three major sports, I have no idea how any other sport works. Like tennis, don't know. Um, Bowling, I guess I know the rules, but bowling's barely a sport. Sorry, honey. But no, bowling is a sport. Bowling is a sport. It is, but like the rules are so simple. Like there's not a lot of rules. Like football, there's like a whole essay full of rules. Basketball, same thing. Baseball, there's a freaking thesis, right? But bowling, there's like 5 rules that of stuff you can't do, right? Like football, you can't launch a player. You can't like do any of that. You can't climb on top of players, like stuff like that. In bowling, you can't like go on the lane and like throw yourself at the pins. Like, I want to know if there's an official rule book to bowling. I actually kind of want to look that up.
There is a high chance.
There's
Like
got to be
the
a.
shit used to, I can't remember if it was like 70s or 60s or 80s or something around the lines. Bowling used to be a really big thing.
No,
Really
bowling is
big
still
thing.
a huge thing. Like,
Oh,
there's still official bowling rules. Oh, there's a whole thing. Oh, wait, no. I'm going to go to bowl.com. Rules. Rules. That is not what I'm looking for. What are bowling rules? Um, okay. What can you not do in bowling is a real question. What is an illegal throw in bowling? Illegal bowling action, also known
it'd
as
be overhead,
chucking.
dude. Well, yeah,
Uh,
no shit.
you gotta roll the ball, but you can't like shot put it or anything, or you can't like overhand probably.
Yeah.
What is Rule 31 in bowling? There's a bunch of bowling rules. I guess they're not as common. Like a lot of bowling rules are common sense. Like you can't go on the lanes, you can't shot put the ball, you can't throw yourself at the pins, you can't yell at people. Well, I don't know on the
Well,
yelling
you can
part.
yell at people.
I don't know because when Sarah
Hey,
did
weren't we
state
both on the
bowling, you're
bowling team?
supposed to be quiet like golf.
Yeah.
But when I did bowling, we didn't follow that rule at all. So I don't know how crazy that rule is. I don't know. I really don't. Uh, yeah. See, like you're like, is NASCAR a sport? Eh. Is horse racing a sport? Eh. I feel like sports should have more human input than machine input, or like other animal input,
So
right?
you're saying NASCAR ain't a sport?
No, NASCAR is a sport on the same level of horse racing is a sport. I think they're minor sports. I think they're more competitions than anything. I think racing is not really a sport unless it's
Yeah, I do
human
kind
on
of think
human
it's more of a.
race.
Yeah, I think it is kind of more of a competition than anything else
It's not really a
because
sport.
like
Like
they
debate and
work up. They have
forensics aren't considered sports, but it's a competition, right? So
yeah.
that's how I kind of look at it.
Like I think sports should be like down to classified like as a like athletic ability and being able to use what you have to actually no that is really I said that's broad. But it's more
Well,
on the
because
lines like
like
athletic ability.
golfers, like some of the better golfers are like old guys that are like way past their prime and they're still great at golf. So I don't know how true that statement of you have to be a like athlete to play any like especially golf, but like bowling, you
Well,
don't
yeah,
have to
no,
be
baseball.
particularly.
baseball used to be the same way. There used to be like 46-year-olds, or actually, I think there is like 46-year-olds still playing.
Babe Ruth was this overweight alcoholic, and he could just slam that ball over the fence. Like, so, I
Yeah,
mean,
he
like,
was fat and alcoholic. What do you think?
but no, like nowadays, golf is one of those old people sports. Like, if you play
Well,
golf, I'm
yeah,
sorry, but it is a sport that you do not need a lot of athletic ability. It's more of
and
a
you kind of just be rich as fuck and just play it. Like I
uh,
have not seen one, like I said,
poor person.
like one serious redneck. I'm talking like
Because
hillbilly, living
no.
trailer park, F-150, actually play golf. You don't see that shit.
I think golf is more of a elegant sport. I don't think it's really a sport in the sense of the word, but it is a sport.
It's like the tennis, you know?
Tennis is a sport. Tennis is a sport. Ping pong sport. Pool. I don't know on pool. Pool's interesting
Swimming,
because it's not like you have a team. I feel like a team is what is and what isn't a sport. Basketball sport. Well, why? Because it's a team sport. Um,
wrestling.
bull.
Well, no, the wrestling wouldn't be really a sport because
Well,
that's
you have
that's
a
on the
wrestling
individual
team.
basis, but you still have like point system for
There's
your
still a
team.
team, right? So it's still a team sport under the definition. If there's a team involved, golf, I don't know. Golf is that fuzzy one.
Yeah,
And then tennis, you can have a partner, but not all the way. Like there is individual tennis, and then there's like one-on-one tennis and 2v2 tennis. I don't know what that's
yeah.
called,
I'm
but
not a big
like
fan of tennis.
tennis is just like I don't get that logic when it comes to
I don't
tennis.
either. It's kind of just like preppy shit for me. No offense.
No offense. We're gonna get like a crowd of people that love tennis, like are tennis lovers, NASCAR people, like because
Okay, dude.
NASCAR is
NASCAR's kind of badass. Think of it this way. It takes so we've had cars since like
19.
19 before 1910s, a little bit before 1910s. They used to be like just by the ones.
Well, Carl
Like you
Benz
had to have
invented the
custom
automobile,
made,
right? It's like
custom made like engines, like all by hand, up until nowadays where they can be mass produced and make like huge amounts of horsepower
sure.
and weird gear ratios depending on what you want, what you can do with it. You can do like I said, let's say you're
But
making a rally car with 250 horsepower. So if you have a 2.5 liter 250 horsepower car, and then you put that in a NASCAR versus a rally car, the NASCAR is probably going to lose because that thing requires up to 400 horsepower to actually be able to continue
sure.
that speed. But then if you put it on like a lightweight rally car that has like jumpy fucking suspension, like just bare bones
It
fucking,
does the job.
yeah, it does the job.
Well,
So
in my opinion on cars, right? Any sport that involves a car is not a sport. So
yeah,
NASCAR, monster truck rally, those aren't sports because there's less human
no,
element. There has to be a major human element in NASCAR, and all the human does is drive the thing. It's not putting in much of the person is
I
not
mean,
really
yeah,
putting
no,
in a bunch of effort. No, those
it is a
people
shit ton of
drive
skill to
at
drive
like
a monster truck
five
though.
Gs. Like they have to be skilled. They have to drive at 5 Gs. I said, not when you're going in a circle. You go in a circle the whole time.
Dude, that's fucking NASCAR. Not like hey, say like think of rally. Look up some rally races.
Oh, rally races are
Dude,
more of a sport than NASCAR is.
yeah, that's just badass. Like you got to see those things flying. There's like a Ford Fiesta somewhere.
Is cycling a sport?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Because that's a lot of athletic ability.
That's a lot of human input.
Yeah,
But it's a race,
yeah,
right? So is it the similar to like a foot race,
maybe.
right? But a cycling, you're not running, or like
You're
swimming.
just
Is
pushing
swimming
your
a
pedal.
sport? I would say
Yeah,
that a sport and a competition, it's like a sport, like a Venn diagram, right? Sport and competition. There are stuff that a lot of sports are competitions, but not a lot of competitions are sports, right?
mm-hmm.
So like NASCAR is a competition, cycling competition, boxing.
Boxing
eh,
maybe.
that's a
No,
sport,
no, boxing. Okay, no, boxing is a sport because
right?
that's a lot of athletic ability and it's on the individual basis. you're pushing a lot more than you need to.
Yes. But you're using the same athletic ability as you would for, say, sprinting, like hurdling, track.
Wait, hold on. How is punching a dude the same as?
You're still using athletic ability, like major athletic ability. That's the problem. is that you don't know where the line between a sport and not a sport is. It's kind of subjective. It's kind of like to each your own. So I guess what we could do is I just name off sports and we'll see whether you agree with me. American football, is that a sport?
Yeah, sport.
Basketball.
Sport.
Tennis.
I'm biased. I really don't like that sport, but it's still a sport.
Is it a sport or is it not, Drew?
It's a sport.
It's a sport?
I fucking hate it.
You hate the fact it's a sport, but it's a sport. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Golf, is that a sport?
That is a recreational activity.
So, not a sport.
No.
Ping pong.
Recreational activity.
Yeah, but it's basically tennis, but on a table.
Yeah, exactly. Recreational activity.
Pool.
It's tiny. Recreational activity. No.
What about swimming, like a swimming competition?
That's a sport.
That's a sport?
Yeah.
NASCAR.
Not a sport. That's a competition.
It's a race competition. Okay.
Yeah, it's a race.
Track and field.
That's a sport.
Yeah, I would agree. Boxing.
Sport.
Baseball. Sport. Is baseball a sport, Drew?
Yeah, that's a sport.
Soccer or foosball or football.
That's definitely a sport.
That's definitely a sport. Rugby.
Sport.
Hockey. We didn't talk much about hockey. I forgot about that.
It's kind of like Canada. It kind of gets forgotten.
No, hockey's an American sport. Like, hockey's a really popular sport.
More north.
No.
I mean, we do have one in Texas. It's not that great.
The Dallas
they haven't done that
Stars? They've won a Stanley Cup, I think.
I don't know what Stanley Cup is.
But I do agree with you. Most of the hockey teams are Yankee quote-unquote states. I think the furthest south it goes is Florida, and I don't think there's an Atlanta team or anything like that. Not like football. Football is more of an American sport.
Yep. But yeah, it would be a sport because like you got to balance yourself on the ice, and then you also are pushing.
There's also a point system. I feel like sports have to have a point system.
Well, no, but that also would be like, hey, Sam, that's why
NASCAR doesn't have a point system, or maybe it does for like a season.
Yeah, I don't know.
You get like 30 points for coming in first or something.
Let me think. Any other ones?
No. So we said boxing was a sport?
Yep. Definitely sport.
Bowling. Is bowling a sport?
Recreational activity.
Sorry, honey. It's not a sport. According to Drew. I think it is because there's a point system. It's a team sport. It cannot be a team sport. So it's like golf in that eyes.
But also here's the thing. You're pushing it's more on the athletic ability I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like yes, it does take you're throwing a 8 to like 12-pound ball, twisting it, all that stuff. But you're just walking and then rolling your ball. Not like pushing 300 pounds or I said running a
Is weightlifting a sport, Drew?
Okay. Depends on what kind of weightlifting. If it's like bodybuilding, that's competition.
Okay.
If it's
weightlifting. Just general weightlifting.
Just general. That's part of athletics, dude.
That's competition.
That's really broad.
That's a competition.
That's broad. That's broad.
All of it is a competition, Drew. All of it.
That is broad.
Any weight like where you're getting judged, competition. It's not a sport.
So you're saying like Eddie Hall lifting?
Sport. Not a sport.
Okay.
Not a sport.
All right.
Like, it's one of those things where you're getting judged, and if there's a judge involved, like figure skating, that's not a sport.
No, it's just
if there's a judge involved and the judge decides the winner, it's not a sport.
Yeah, bowling would be off.
It can't be.
All right, next one.
Run out of sports or like controversial sports, I guess. Uh, any chess? Is chess a sport?
Hell no.
No, but it's a
I
game.
mean, boxing chess, dude. That's a sport.
That's where you box
You
for
just
10
rally
minutes,
for 5 fucking seconds, then you go back to playing
blast
chess.
each other in the face with your glove.
Like
I gotta
I
stop
said,
saying blast. I got
you're next.
Um,
No, but like I said,
would you
like
say
that
all
one.
racing is a sport?
It takes. Wait, what?
Would you say all racing is a sport?
Depends on like what kind of racing. If it's like on foot, on bike, yes. But if it's on car, on horse, on plane, no.
Plane race.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
Just because you watch Disney's planes or Disney Pixar's planes does not mean it's a sport.
It's not.
I'm running out of sports, man, or semi.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Volleyball, is volleyball a sport?
Yeah.
I would say so. I mean, most people don't take that sport seriously. Is swimming a sport?
Yes. 100%. Yes.
Okay. But like diving, like judging a dive, like does like
No.
a double
Diving,
twist.
no. Swimming itself, yes, but the diving part, no.
The luge.
What's luge?
It's the big old bobsled thing. Is that a sport? Luging. Bobsledding.
That's kind of like the way of like
That's Olympics.
NASCAR, I guess. Yeah.
So not a sport.
I'm mixed feelings because it's in the Olympics.
Well, we said that swimming was, and swimming's part of the Olympics. Here, let me look up all the Olympic games, because then that will give us our answer.
Yeah. Oh shit.
What?
Dexter and the Moon Rocks.
What?
So I have a oh shit, what I'm following these guys. I'll say.
Olympic games list. Olympics.
I gotta check out if these guys are actually coming to Kansas, because if they are, I'm definitely going.
Gymnastics. Is gymnastic a sport?
Okay, Asheville, Nashville, Gulf Shores, Omaha. They're in Omaha, Nebraska for a little bit.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I got distracted. One of my, favorite bands is, or one of them. Nashville, Tennessee, Arizona, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota. No. Damn, not close enough.
Gymnastics. Drew, is gymnastics a sport?
Fuck. Yeah, I guess.
No. Because you're getting judged. Drew.
You're not just getting judged, you're also pushing yourself to a full limit with
You're getting judged though.
Like
it's the same thing with diving.
Okay.
You're getting skiing. Is skiing a sport?
No. Wait, no. Yes.
Yeah, well, there is I do know there is like a point system with skiing. Like if you do like a double McTwist, it's like 1,500 points or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that shit. I say, all honesty, if I say, I've fallen on my ass way too much trying to ski, so I say yes.
I've never.
It takes a lot of skill, a shit ton of skill.
Is archery a sport?
No.
It's kind of like golf.
Yeah.
Badminton.
Badminton? Hell yeah. I train for that shit.
How is that a sport, but tennis isn't?
I'm messing with you. It's not really.
Hell yeah.
No, I keep on seeing those damn TikToks with that one dude just fucking doing the weirdest training regimens and it's saying badminton training.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Curling. Is curling a sport? That's the with the broom. With the rock and the broom.
I guess I don't really know. That one's weird. It's like hey said.
Excuse me.
That does have a point system. It does take a little bit of athletic ability, but it's just weird.
We said hockey, ice hockey, karate. Is karate a sport?
Let me think. It's just
Are you
kicking somebody's
fighting
ass.
people? Like, are you
Are you? I just skip that one. I don't really know. That one's like that's a fighting.
lacrosse?
Lacrosse.
That's a sport.
Well, okay, I
That's a
gotta look
sport.
that one. I'll be
It's the one with the
genuinely
big
on.
ass net that you have, and you yeet the thing at the goal. It's like soccer. You yeet at the goal.
Oh yeah, no,
That's
that's a sport.
I'm running out of rowing. AJ is a rower, so you better watch what you say.
Yes. Yeah, it's a sport. I'm saying
Well, it's
that
a race. It's a race, and we aren't counting NASCAR as a sport. It can't be.
Okay. Here's the thing. We're counts. Hey, said it's like biking. That also counts as sport. It's like you're using your upper body instead of your lower body this time.
Okay. So is sailing not a sport?
No, that you're catching the wind. That takes skill, not athletic. Well, okay, athletic ability and skill.
Well, also because you're using something else. You're not using like your muscles or anything to do the. Well, I guess you are because you have to like steer the boat, but like you know what I mean. Like you're not using your strength. It's a race, but the boat is doing most of the work.
Yeah.
Shooting is a sport.
That's more. Yeah, still like archery. No.
That's the same thing. Speed skating. It's where they like race in the ice and they skate.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
But then they're still going in a circle. They go in a circle like NASCAR.
No, but it's also the same thing with track.
That's true. You got a point. Trampoline is apparently on the list of Olympic sports.
There's no fucking way a trampoline is a sport.
I don't know what that means. I want to hit that. It is trampolining was invented in 1934 by an American gymnast, George Nissen, who, after watching trapeze acrobats perform tricks while bouncing off safety nets, built the first prototype trampoline to recreate their acrobatics. Initially a piece of equipment to train astronauts, trampolining was organized in 1964 and joined. So how does it work? 2 individual trampoline events, men and women's, blah, 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 blah. The trampoline bed is attached, blah, 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 blah. Olympic history. No, brief overview of the rules. Wait, how does it work? Oh, it must be like gymnastics.
So yeah, not a sport.
Do like flips and shit. Okay, last one, and then we're gonna be done for today. Okay. Wrestling.
Wrestling, yes.
Wrestling is sport. It's one of those things where you are getting judged, but there's a point system, and then there's an end, right?
And also, like you're pushing a lot of people. Oh my god, you're just kicking somebody's ass. I love that shit.
Well, because boxing's a sport, MMA is a sport, wrestling has to be a sport, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I felt like this was a fun episode to record.
Yeah, we have a lot of variety. You can probably cut this up in like 3 different podcasts on
it. No. Not because I'm lazy with editing. It's because these are supposed to be very podcast episodes. So, yeah, Drew, thanks for coming on. There'll be one next week. I don't know when, but there'll be one next week at some point. So, that's been the first episode of Podcast 2.0. So, logging off. See you later.